Hi, everybody, and welcome to Sacred Spaces. My name is Jennifer Dixon, and
I am Merritt, Maloof, Plumb.
And we're so excited to have you today as we continue to dive into actually, we've moved into the second limb of Ashtanga Yoga, the niyamas. Yeah, last week we finished up with a summary of the yamas. There were 5 of those, and this week we're going to start to dive into the niyamas. So there's 5 of them.
Yeah, and the yamas were more like self-restraint type things, things you want to avoid doing. And the niyamas are more things you want to cultivate.
Oh, I like that.
And things you want to expand. So that's kind of how I was thinking about.
I like it put that way too, like lessen and grow.
Yes.
Which is interesting from an English standpoint, because if you hear "ni," you automatically think no or less. I do. Like "in" is like no with my kids, but the niyamas are the things you want to cultivate and grow, right. Which I think is a beautiful way to talk about the first niyama, Saucha. Saucha. I may be butchering it. Saucha.
Nope, that's how I heard it pronounced.
Good. Saucha, which means purity. And so, what did you learn this week while you were diving into purity? What is purity to you?
So I think it's very subjective. I think it's different for everyone. I was thinking about how it's purity inside and outside. So bathing to be pure, but where it's different for other people is I like to use all natural. I like to use oils on my skin, and other people may use a chemical soap. So it just depends on what purifies you. Mm-hmm. And that's different from everyone. And on the inside, mostly my thoughts. I feel like it all ties back to thoughts and energy. And so if my brain's scattered, my office is going to look like it exploded.
My brain must always be scattered.
Mine too. But have you ever noticed that when you like clean up your room or clean up your space, what a like pure feeling you get? Like your energy flows better. You know where things are.
Well, in my bedroom, yes, but with my office, no, because generally that means that I don't know where everything is, because right now my chaos equals that pile is this pile is this. I'm not good at organizing. I would need
and
a
I'm
professional
not either,
organizer.
But I guess my point is when my mind is more pure and not as cluttered and chaotic, mm-hmm. I find it easier to just kind of want to clear space.
Interesting.
Like you can see it with this table a lot. This is kind of the medicine table. Sometimes there will be a lot of things on it, and sometimes it'll be completely a palette, because I build medicine grids on this table. Mm-hmm. So, when it's not a moon or I'm not doing grids, you'll see books on it, cups on it, from living, and then I clean it up and it's pure again.
Interesting.
So it's, same thing with my fires. If I like starting with newspapers or, I'm putting like some cardboard in there or something, it burns that stuff to purity. So fire is representative to me about how I purify my thoughts, because I meditate a lot with fire.
Yeah, no, and fire is also a great one to think about, because that's how you purify gold. Mm-hmm. That's how you get, the hotter it gets, the hotter that the metal gets, the more impurities come out, and that's what the purity meant to me. It's getting that internal fire, that Agni that happens with a practice. When you build your internal heat, in yoga it's called Agni, and there's some really cool stories about the deity that is Agni that we'll have to dive into one day. But the whole point of those physical postures is to help bring about purity and healing in your body, whether it's, digestive issues, joint issues, all of those things. The purity aspect comes with a good internal hot factor. I hate saying hot yoga because you don't have to practice hot yoga.
No, but we have heat in our body that purifies, and it pushes energy through the meridians and chakras, and
and that's one of those things where, and I haven't reached that age where I'm perpetually hot, and part of me is kind of excited about that age because look at me, I'm in a jacket, but I'm always cold. But that's one of those things that's perplexing to me when I watch other people that are perpetually hot. Like my husband's just hot sitting there, and turn the air on, turn the air out, and then I'm freezing during my practice or whatever, and I can't get my Agni going. But everybody's internal temperatures are different, I guess. You want to get that sweat on, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I kind of did a meditation this morning about the lotus blossom. Not anything real formal, but you know, that the lotus grows more pure from the mud.
Oh, yeah.
And the deeper and the muddier it is, the more beautiful the lotus blossom is. And you know, the lotus blossom is such a huge symbol for yoga because, you know, the chakras are images of lotuses. And, you know, it's about reaching purity through the muck and the mud. And that's what yoga is all about.
For sure. And the other beautiful thing about the lotus is that it actually helps to clean up the crap.
Exactly.
You know, it's growing up and it's making this beautiful...
As it evolves, yeah.
It clears up the crap around it.
Yes.
Which you could take to a deeper level with each of us. Like, as our practice deepens in whatever way it means, like, we're growing up and we're becoming these beautiful flowers, but inevitably... everything around us cleans up.
Yes.
And that was a neat thought because I know I feel like we talk about diet a lot, but as you get deeper and deeper into your practice, you're going to start recognizing what foods do you well and what foods do you harm, or what, you know, maybe I don't need to stay up later to watch that show. I'm going to go to bed so I'll have a better practice.
Yes.
Or, you know, like, maybe those thoughts in my head, that's not a good thought. I shouldn't let that thought continue to go. So all of these things happen.
Well, and I like kind of her reference in the book about not judging what's pure and what's not pure, especially in others, because, you know, we may look at something someone else is doing and come from a judgmental place, and that projection is impure.
Yep.
And so, like, you don't even compare or judge what may be mud for someone else and maybe, you know, all the way to purity for someone else. You're just in alignment with the divine, and you're moving from that place.
Yep.
It's not so, and you're only loving towards others.
Always acting love. And so Merritt brought up a book. I should make sure that I give it a shout out. We have been studying through the Yamas and the Niyamas by Deborah Adele. It's a really great book. I've tried to put links in the comments down below. Hey, make sure you subscribe. It's like down there. So go ahead and hit subscribe. So we've been reading through this book, and that's in one of the stories she talks about is exactly what Merritt was just talking about with this. What's going on right here with me is not what's going on right there with her, and who am I to judge her pond?
Yeah, you just love each other on the path.
Yep.
And, you know, if anyone is going to grow from your teachings, it's going to be because you're leading by example. And it inspires them.
Yep.
And things we say also can inspire people, and we can certainly teach the harmony that we've learned within ourselves in the hopes that that will inspire someone else. But as far as, like, calling someone out, you know,
that wouldn't be truth and love, would it? That's not the nonviolent. If you call somebody out, then remember our very first thing is to act with ahimsa. And so it all builds back on all of these. All of these are steps of building back on each other.
Well, and I think all the niyamas, I've kind of been looking at them as a whole, and all of them are about, yoga is about, the whole practice is about, you know, the practice gets you in alignment with your core essence, with your divine nature, and you move through that, and then you're drawn to the pure thing, just like Manju says, you know, I don't care how they get to the mat.
Yeah.
Just get them to the mat.
Yeah.
And then everything else begins to, as you practice, be it yoga or whatever practice you may do, a lot of meditation, that practice is going to move you into alignment with these principles and guidelines, and it's just how we live from our divine nature.
Yep.
Everything else is stuff we've learned that have kind of taken us away from that.
Yep.
So we go to yoga and we go to our mat to come back to that place.
And imagine the world if we were all able to come back to that.
I do every day.
That's the John Lennon song. So one of the things that she quoted, and I don't know if you caught this, down at towards the end of the Saucha chapter, she mentioned in really small, it was like a footnote, if you will. She talked about studying a part of the New Testament in Aramaic and the Lord's Prayer in particular, and she quoted this one literal translation in the Aramaic of the Lord's Prayer, and I won't go into that, is, "Loose the cords of mistakes binding us as we release the strands we hold of others' guilts." That one got me big time.
Read that again.
This is part of the Lord's Prayer as translated from the Aramaic, and it says, "Loose the cords of mistakes binding us as we release the strands we hold of others' guilts."
Wow, breathe that in. That's really beautiful, and I could probably explore that in great depth. I need to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
Does she do the whole thing?
No, that's just one line, and that's actually what I was going to do on my own when I had more times, is to try to get the whole Lord's Prayer from the Aramaic, the translation, because how many of us hold on to, oh my God, I was such an idiot, I can't believe I did that, or, had I not said this, that, or the other, my life would be so different. And the fact of the matter is, you did that, and that's the beautiful reason why you are, and you have to let that go.
That's the mud.
That's the mud that's making
no mud,
you beautiful.
No lotus.
That's right. And then the other thing about, like, the strands of what other people have done to you, like, talk about a stomach punch, man, for how do you get rid of bitterness and anger and, the what's the word I'm looking for? The victim mentality. Like, cut that bind, cut that crap, man, and just see how beautiful you can grow from there when you release all those binds that are holding us.
Right. Because when you release someone else, you're free.
Exactly.
So what is purity to you?
Yes, we would love to hear. Go ahead and drop us a comment down below. Today's topic was Saucha and purity, and it is talking about cleanliness. It is talking about, don't try not to stink,
Simplicity.
Yeah. And
you're clean. It's almost ritualistic, cleaning and decluttering so that you're in a space of more pure awareness.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much for watching today. I know this episode was a little bit short, but purity that was a deep quote. We gotta think about it.
I think we
hit them all.
It was pretty pure in the way that we came across with that. If you have any questions or would like any further discussion, give us a comment. We love dialogue. We might even answer some questions on the show.
Yeah, we'd love to. So make sure you hit subscribe to this Sacred Spaces, a part of the Thrive Yoga and Wellness podcast, which is available on all of the major platforms, including YouTube. Thanks for watching, you guys. Can't wait to see you again soon. Bye-bye.